3.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Idiomatic Top 3.
With Nicholas, I am the gaming correspondent for Idiomatic.
Dennis P., horror movie enthusiast.
And I am Dimitri, editor-in-chief of Idiomatic and movie critic. So, today we're going to talk about foreign movie remakes, the American remakes of foreign movies, which is a common thing.
Very common, yes.
And we thought we'd talk about that a little bit with a little top 3 of the movies we'd like to see remade. To give you a little glimpse into the foreign movies we love to watch over here, because we're snooty hipsters.
Yes.
But before we do that, let's go into something I like to call show and tell. And that's when we recommend a couple of movies for you. And this time, of course, foreign movies. So why don't you get us started, Dennis?
All right, well, I would recommend the original, because this, I think, has been remade, called My Sassy Girl, a Korean movie. It's, I guess I would call it what? Comedy / romance?
I think it is a romantic comedy.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah. What's the premise for those of us who don't know it? Meaning Nick.
Nick.
Why, thank you.
Well, the premise is, I guess he's a teenager who one day at the train station sees a girl who's really drunk. She's kind of like wibbly wobbly on the train track and ready to fall, and he kind of rescues her, if you will. And then she ends up passing out, and he carries on her back and brings her to a hotel, and the movie starts from there.
Yeah, and then he takes turns that are slightly unexpected.
Yes, very unexpected, and very comedic. It was a very funny and romantic movie, and definitely recommend it for people to see it for themselves.
I agree. I agree. Are they planning a remake of that?
I don't know if they filmed the remake per se. I think that they remade it, or it's in the works.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about the remake, but I agree. The original is really, really great film.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not excited about the remake is because so much of it is entrenched in Korean culture and just a Korean lifestyle. And
definitely, yeah.
That's the part of the movie I like the most, actually.
Same with me, and they even, I think they even address they make fun of some of the Korean movies in there, I think, or some foreign movies, so it's pretty fun, and, I don't know how they would remake that part.
With Jimmy Fallon.
Ouch.
The foreign remake expert. Actor.
My remake, original movie that I recommend is the French movie Les Dîners de Cons, which has been remade in the United States, Dinner for Schmucks.
Yes, that's right.
It's a completely different premise in France. They basically, the main character has dinners where they have to bring a schmuck. And they have those dinners and they make fun of the schmuck. But something goes wrong this time, and the schmuck he invites, he completely ruins his life. Like, in the worst way possible. And pretty much he gets what he deserves, and the whole movie is hilarious. And I completely recommend it. Yeah,
it's a get your just desserts movie as opposed to the American movie. There is no attempt to make Thierry Lhermitte, the guy who invites the schmuck, sympathetic in any way. He gets what he deserves because he's a jerk.
Exactly. And he you can see it, like, he gets the straight leg as a short, like, one step at a time as the schmuck, he messes up, like, more and more and more, and it's hilarious.
It's one where you gotta check out the original if you've seen the remake, because the remake is very American. It tries to make every character sympathetic, which is a quality of Hollywood movies, but in the case of Le Dîner de Cons, what makes it work is that the schmuck is a real schmuck. Yeah. And the guy who invites him is kind of an ass. And, like, nobody's all that sympathetic in that movie. And so when bad things happen to them, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but definitely I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, no, it's a great choice.
I
hope more people check that movie out. After the remake especially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The remake looked horrible just from the previews.
Yeah, I'm in the same vein. I'm also recommending a French movie, and it's also one where I don't like the remake, and which is why I'm recommending it. But the little difference here is that it's also a remake itself.
Okay.
I am recommending Sous le ciel de Provence. It's a 1956 movie remake of an Italian movie. And it stars Fernandel, and it was remade into A Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves.
Huh?
Yeah. And the Walking the Clouds is a very lavish, romantic movie about a young chocolate salesman who goes into the Provence and meets a young woman and falls in love with her. And the original movie is not about that at all.
Oh, okay.
He's a middle-aged chocolate salesman who's already married, very happily married. He's stuck in Provence, meets this young woman of Italian origin, but she's younger, and he's not at all in love. He just sort of gets dragged into her romantic woes with her because she's in love with someone, but she's set to be married with someone else, and he just gets dragged into it. Like, he's not interested in her at all. This is not a romantic movie at all. It's more of a comedy of circumstances, and it's so funny because of that. I think the American remake sort of screwed the pooch by trying to turn the whole thing into this beautiful love story, like they turn everything into a beautiful love story, where in fact there is a love story there, but it's not about the main character. It's just this guy dragged into this big drama, trying to shake himself up and walk away from it. Very, very charming movie. Alright, so that's it, I guess. Unless you guys have anything to add.
No, that's good.
Alright, well, on that note, let's get to the conversation proper.
Yes.
Might as well move on to the top three, yeah?
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna start this time, I guess, because you guys
Go for it.
start. Alright.
Yes.
My number 3, French movie. They're coming out with the Smurfs.
Yes.
Yes, they have come out. And it looks terrible. Smurfs in New York, the last thing I want to see.
Wow.
Dimitri, it's smurferific. Come on.
No.
Stop smurfing on them. That's all the jokes in the Smurf movie.
I'm just saying, it looks
Spoiler.
like a piece of Smurf. But I would love them to do the original Smurf movie, the French movie, La Flûte à six schtroumpfs, the flute with 6 Smurfs, I guess.
Yeah.
It's an animated movie, terrific little movie, and which keeps the roots of where the Smurfs come from, because it's adapted from the French-Belgian comic book that originally introduced the Smurfs, which was not the Smurfs, which was Johan and Pirlouit.
Oh.
And it's great. It's medieval, it's magic, it's scary, it's all of these things, and super cute because they're Smurfs.
Okay.
But without being schmaltzy.
Okay.
And I'd love for them to adapt that movie into a Smurf movie, because that would be great. Smurfs in New York, Smurf that.
And this movie, you want it to be remade, Americanized, yes?
Yeah, I'm fine with them, because they have the budget to sort of pull off a nice epic adventure. Maybe Guillermo del Toro can do it. That would be fun.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, come on, he would make a great Smurf movie, because he would not get attached to their cuteness and actually make them as those odd little elvish creatures that they're meant to be.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know who would be a great voice actor for the Smurfs?
Who?
Jimmy Fallon.
And that was your one.
That was the last one, yes.
What will it be, like the uncharismatic Smurf? Like,
I don't know.
Hey, Smurf uncharismatic. Smurf at midnight 30 to nobody watching.
Oh,
That's a low blow Smurf.
Moving on then.
all right. My number 3 is a movie I'd like them to remake, so that maybe something can happen in it. Run Lola Run, which is a German movie.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah.
You do not like Run Lola Run?
I do not like that movie.
Oh, wow.
It is. I found it highly overrated.
Really?
I can understand that.
So let's remake it and have something more happen.
What do you mean? What more happens? She spends the entire movie in movement.
Yeah, she's running.
It's called Run, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lola Run.
I can go to a gym and watch people on a treadmill. The whole resolution of the plot on why she's running is like 10% of the movie, and 90% of it is just her running. Increase the 10% of her doing other stuff. You make it a little more, interesting, involving, and that'd be great to see.
But that's an interesting.
But the movie's called Run Lola Run. It uses the word run 2 times in the
it's
title.
Lola Rente. If Lola doesn't rente, it's not good.
It's not running.
Run Lola Run. So
How do you want that to?
make running only 66% of the movie, because it's 66%.
He wants Lola Rente ambition. That's what he wants. He wants Lola Rente
What is wrong with
ambition.
you? Running is great.
And change the music too.
Oh, really? I love the soundtrack. I own the soundtrack. I actually think it's terrific.
You don't like the music?
I do not like the music.
Why not?
You wanted more Luft balloons?
Yes, that'd be great.
Oh man.
Interesting, controversial pick. I have to say I completely disagree with you. Okay.
Well, for me, because you know my stand on remakes, I don't want foreign movies to be remade. So for me, you know, I just to see it like, you know, be completely destroyed. My number 3 would be Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. I'd love to see that remade, just to see how terribly they would remake that.
Drunken Master 2, you said?
Yeah, 1 and 2, either or. I just said Drunken Master, but yeah, like the first one obviously is a classic, so is the second.
Yeah.
I'd like just to see them replace Jackie Chan with, you know, I don't know.
Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, that would be a great movie. Yeah, him doing drunken, I don't know, comedy or something.
Yeah, I remember that scene that I remember where he falls in like burning coals and he crawls on the burning coals for like maybe 20 seconds before going on the board. I would love to see them do that with like CGI and have this fake CGI fire under whoever they choose.
Oh yeah,
that would be so horrible.
That was in part 2. Yeah.
Part 2. Because it's worth noting for those of you who don't know, which you have to watch part 2. It's been retitled Legend of the Drunken Master.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
If you can find the original Chinese cut, though, it's better. It's an extended cut essentially, and it's better. But you find out in the credits that he actually did go into a hot burning coal for real, and you're like, what? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
How crazy are you? So, number 2?
My number 2 pick for foreign movie I'd love to see remade. I'm looking at a Quebec movie this time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. A Quebec movie called Le Sexe des Étoiles. And it is a movie about a transvestite dad.
Ooh, okay.
And the way that his daughter deals with that. And she does not deal with that very well at all. Okay. And she pushes him down the stairs at one point. She's very angry.
Oh, wow.
And I want to see an American remake of that for pretty much the same reasons you want to see a remake of anything, Dennis. I can't imagine how American filmmakers could pull that one off. Because it's not a homophobic movie at all. It's actually a very open movie about transgender sexuality and whatnot. And that's sort of the flip side of the coin, because American audiences don't really respond well to that either. You know, like they made a Simpsons character gay, and the public completely lost their freaking little minds for a while.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what they're going to deal with a movie that openly discusses this level of sexuality between a parent and a child. Well, not that they have sex, but that relationship in regards to sex between a parent and a child. I think American audiences are going to freak the crap out, because it's very open in it. It's very open about how her father's sexuality affects her own sexuality, and the links there are in there. And she hangs out with a boy that's a gigolo too. Like, there's sex all around and minors. That movie is full of it. It won the International Film Festival the year it came out. It is an amazing movie, really touching, really, really well done. And I can't imagine an American studio company being able to pull off that kind of controversial material.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah,
I'm laughing because I'm just imagining they would use
what's higher than rated R, really? At that point,
X.
Rated X.
Who do you think would be a great actor, American actor, to play the transvestite dad?
Jimmy Fallon.
This guy could play anything.
Yes. My number 2 is a movie I saw. Fantasia. Was very, very, very entertaining. It was called Attack the Gas Station.
Oh.
It's a Japanese movie, right?
Korean.
All right, yeah. It starts with 4 guys attacking a gas station, and then they're the next day is like, we're bored. Let's attack the gas station again, and they go and rob the gas station again, and it's like a whole an hour and a half of them trying to get the money because the owner added security measures, quote unquote, a day later, you know, and it's them just trying to get the money and having to do the robbery. But there are a lot of jokes that are very, you know, in the Asian culture.
Yes.
So I would love to see how they make it into American. They could make it funny anyway.
I think I think it's doable. I think it is.
Yeah.
They would have to change this. Like, I hope if they ever do it, there's one character who's obsessed with baseball, and I hope they don't keep it baseball, because baseball in Korea doesn't mean the same thing as baseball in America, and I hope they get that nuance.
Okay.
I don't think they would.
And one of the guy wants to punish the people he's holding hostage, and he has them like stand on their head, like hold on their head. I don't know what the punishment is, like the equivalent in America you could do, but that'd be like really funny to see. So I would like to see what they do with that.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I forgot about that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, oh, it's hilarious.
Right, my number two would be also a French movie called Doberman.
Okay.
And that's a pretty, I would say, stylistic action movie about a gang of, I would say, bank robbers. And the girlfriend is really, she became a bit popular. She was in the Matrix movies in the second one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
The most gorgeous woman on earth. Monica Bellucci. Yeah.
Monica Bellucci. So she's in it. And great movie. I would say like very funny and in the end pretty violent. And it's about like a policeman who's obsessed with catching the Doberman, which is his nickname in his gang. Okay. And that guy just goes to extremes, that cop, and it's like a battle, so to speak, between them. It's really, really well made, and I'd definitely like to see them butcher it.
You don't think they have a chance of making it good?
No, I don't know. It's like,
Because I'm going to take that suggestion seriously, actually.
No?
I would love to see either Robert Rodriguez or especially Quentin Tarantino take its hand out. And that would be interesting. Because that movie...
You know what? Maybe if it's Quentin, but... Quentin, yeah.
Because it appeals to his sensibility.
Yeah.
It's a movie, it's a story that plays into his strong parts.
Yeah.
As opposed to Death Proof, that really to his worth habits.
Yeah. But yeah, no, maybe that one. But I just like the main actor. He just looks like a Doberman. Looks like pretty badass, and
I'm sorry, there were other actors and Monica Bellucci in this movie?
Yeah, I know. And Monica was pretty hot in it, and
in it. Did we really need the qualifier in it?
Who could look really badass like that in Hollywood? And now we know we can't say Jimmy Fallon because that's really not true.
The guy in The Wrestler.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, Mickey
maybe
Rourke.
A younger Mickey Rourke, maybe.
Yeah.
And who would you use as the lead actress there?
They can make him look 20 years younger anyway. So younger Mickey Rourke is.
Megan Fox.
Oh God!
Wow.
No worse. Worse than Megan Fox, her replacement in Transformers Dark.
Oh God! Good gosh. No comment. Yeah.
No, but like seriously, I actually think that could work.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe. Yeah, if it's Quentin Tarantino, it has a good chance of yeah. You're so now we're at number one?
Yeah,
you're number one.
My number one. I'm aiming at a trilogy for this one. I'm seeing a trilogy. I'm thinking of the Tenchi Muyo series, which I think Americans know it as Tenchi Universe, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
But it's actually based on a bunch of OAV series called Tenchi Muyo, which was followed by two movies, Tenchi Muyo in Love and Tenchi Muyo.
Is this anime or is this
Yeah, it's an anime.
Oh, okay.
And I would love to see a live action series made of that. And I think the Americans are better at translating animation into live action than the Japanese are. Because Japanese tend to try to stick to the aesthetics of their own cartoons, and it's like, come on, nobody has hair like that. And I would love to see that. I would see it as a sort of a Star Wars type trilogy, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, after the success of Dragon Ball, I think we need more anime transfer.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but like
they butchered that one, man. Holy moly!
Did they butcher it really? Because it seemed like mincemeat to begin with.
Yeah,
that's terrible. That's a good point. It's when the starting material is that bad.
That you know what? I'll tell you something though. I mean, I don't even like anime. I think it's its own genre of like not to be messed with,
I don't know, because I think the difference between Dragon Ball and Tenchi Muyo is that Tenchi Muyo already has that Star Wars feel. It sort of almost translates itself very easily. For those of you who are not familiar with it, it's a story about a young son of a Taoist priest, I think.
Yeah.
And he is said to become that priest, and he uncovers a demon who turns out to have ties to extraterrestrials.
Interesting.
And the thing is that the most important people in the entire galaxy end up falling in love with this young man who has a destiny with them. And it's very, very funny. And it allows you for a large cast for very funny actors.
Yeah.
I think it would work. I think it would be very funny and charming.
But then there might be, like certain audience members disappointed because, again, you have all those 5 characters that all fall in love and everybody has their favorite and, that one has to end up with Tenchi. Yeah. And in a movie, you know, it's... I'm not going to say like Team Edward versus Team Jacob because that'd be freaking insulting. But you end up people seeing and like 1/5 of the audience is happy because their favorite character got with their guy, and the 4/5 are like, oh, this was crap.
Well, they handled it well, because the series was very conscious of that. Because what's funny is that the Japanese cartoons, when they do a new series, they often just remake it and start from scratch. They just remake. Yeah. And every series, he ends up with a different person. The movies end up with one person who's my favorite, and I know she's not yours. Yeah.
But at least when they did the remake, like you said, it kind of addressed everybody's like fan base.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Fan service.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
But if they follow the movies one, which I think they should, if they ever made a movie, it's cleverly done because it's done in a subtle way where you understand that he will end up with this person, but you don't actually see him ending up with her. So there's a plausible deniability if you're really opposed to it.
And Dimitri, who do you think should play Tenchi?
Actually, he kind of looks like Jimmy Fallon.
I think Jimmy Fallon would be a great
haircut,
Tenchi.
and I can see it.
Yeah, he must be like the most desired by all these.
In all seriousness, though, I would love for them to keep him Japanese.
Oh, okay. Really?
Like, he can be a student coming to America if you want to set the story in America, which I think is fine. But because the fact that he's the son of a Shinto priest is so crucial to who his character is and why he can stand to be surrounded by all these women who just throw himself at him and not really do anything. Okay. Like, if he's not the son of a Shinto priest, he looks like a dweeb.
Yeah.
He has to be the son of a Shinto priest.
Okay.
Right. So I'd love for them to keep him a Japanese actor.
You're saying, Americans can't be sons of Shinto priests?
What? I'm saying that Americans cannot be sons of Shinto priests. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Jimmy looks like he came from Japan. Come on.
No, Jimmy looks like he should stay in Japan.
Hey-ho! Yeah. Maybe his show is going to be more successful in Japan, though.
I think it might be, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's exotic over there.
Exactly.
That's
exotic.
Yeah.
So what's your number one now?
My number one is a Hong Kong movie called So Close.
Oh. Yes.
Very good movie, but something happens to one of the main characters. I'm not going to ruin it on the podcast.
Name the actress.
No. You shouldn't name it. It's a spoiler if you name it.
Oh, okay. Not that one. Yeah.
Something happens to one of the main characters that is so unseen in American movies that I would like to see it be remade and see how they deal with that and try and keep it the same way.
I agree with you, because it is not something you would see in an American movie usually.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing at all. It's sort of a twist where you're like, whoa, did that... And I kept expecting it to be like undone.
Yeah.
You know, I kept expecting it's like what you think you saw.
I saw this movie also. Yeah. I saw it also and I know what you're talking about. But
yeah, you expected, no, that didn't happen. It was just like a dream sequence or something. And no, it did happen. Yeah. And it changed the movie. It's still a great movie.
Yeah. I agree. It's so much fun. And I agree that I would love to see them, how they would do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's doable. It's not like one of those challenges like, ha ha ha, you're screwed. Like, sort of like Dennis's challenge.
Yeah, it's like, we're done. That movie, yeah, you know what? Yeah, people should watch it just for what it is. And why I wanted to say to name the actress, well, they should watch and find out because she's pretty hot.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, it's kind of a spoiler because the two others don't really match her hotness.
So that is kind of a spoiler there.
Okay, so edit this part.
So what is your number one pick?
You know what? I'll go with another martial arts movie because this one was already a remake, actually. And it's called Fist of Legend by Jet Li, which is a remake of Fist of Fury by Bruce Lee.
Yeah, also known in America as Chinese Connection.
The Chinese Connection. And I'd love to see them remake the remake.
Oh god, I hope it's not one specific studio, which again, legally I can't name without getting into trouble, but because it's a studio that refuses to acknowledge that the Chinese might be proud about China in any shape or form. I worked on a specific movie where the translation was completely changed to remove any sort of national pride from the Chinese movie.
Really?
And it was a very frustrating experience. Because it's based on a real story. It's based on a real person. And the fact that it's completely changed for him to be almost ashamed of being Chinese when he's a Chinese national hero, it was very frustrating. It was very frustrating to work on that movie. And very angering. And to the point where, like, there's a scene in the movie where the character drinks coffee and doesn't like it, and the subtitle changed it to say that he likes it.
Wow.
Yeah. Because the idea that a Chinese person could not appreciate something that's important from white people is offensive to that studio somehow.
Wow.
It was really, really frustrating. I think I'm vague enough to get away with it. Right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So, so if you're going to talk about this Chinese national hero who's essentially a big maniac that's redeemed by the fact that he was in a situation where he's facing bigger maniacs, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
One of the worst massacres in human history, and one that's not really talked about in the West for some reason.
Yeah.
I would be afraid that they would sort of try to minimize what happened there.
Yeah. And the martial arts choreography, I mean, who would they use as the main...
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, Keanu Reeves, man. Come on, Keanu Reeves.
Like, put tape on his eyes to give him, like, offensive Chinese eyes.
Steven Seagal.
and give him, like, 2 teeth in the front, too. Like, just, like, make him as offensive as humanly possible.
Oh, God.
See, I might Steven Seagal because he's actually a good martial artist.
He's a terrific.
Yeah. So he's a good martial artist, yeah.
So...
That would give him too much credit, eh, to the other remake.
But yeah, Van Damme, he knows how to do one kick and that's it.
With one leg. He can't even do it with both legs.
Of course not.
When he faces the bad guy at the end, the bad guy just ducks. Oh no! My best weapon.
It's gone. With a French accent.
Yeah, that reminds me. That reminds me of another movie because you mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme. That might make a good remake as well. It's the movie JVCD, where Jean-Claude Van Damme plays himself as he goes back to Belgium. Where the Belgians kind of still see him as a big deal, but he sees himself as a complete loser who failed at his career and gets involved in a bank robbery. It's a really terrific movie. And I would love to see an American remake of that where Jimmy Fallon is faced with the idea that he's a failure at his career. I'm just throwing it out there.
And the movie would be called JF for Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good. I would love to see that. Where he has that monologue addressing the public, right? His audience, his fans, and apologizing for...
Yes, sorry. I make all those jokes with Colbert Report, but... people still watch his show more than mine. Sorry.
He does the monologue and you see him move and then the camera zooms out and he's in court.
Oh boy.
He knows we're just making fun. He can't sue us, right?
No, he can't. No, because we haven't actually claimed anything that's not true. He's an untalented hack. It's not defamation if it's true.
Jimmy, I think you're awesome. Sue the other 2 guys.
No. Jimmy Fallon, don't take it bad. A, you make more money than I do. And then all of us combined. Really.
Pretty much, yeah.
So really, we can throw as many jokes that you still get the last laugh. And you're still better than Chris Kattan. I'm pretty sure your audience is larger than the audience of this podcast as well. So really, you've won on every level.
Yes.
Hey, and we're giving you free publicity, man. People are going to watch your show.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yes.
So we're closing it?
Yeah, we should close it with if you have any questions, comments, you can write us at mail@idiomanic.com or post a comment right below the episode at idiomanic.com. And if you could write us some iTunes reviews if you're getting us through iTunes, we'd love them. We can't get better without any feedback, especially if you're Jimmy Fallon.
And see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Of the schmuck. But something goes wrong this time, and the schmuck he invites, he completely ruins his life. Like, in the worst way possible. And pretty much he gets what he deserves, and the whole movie is hilarious. And I completely recommend it.
Yeah, it's a get your just desserts movie as opposed to the American movie. There is no attempt to make Thierry Lhermitte, the guy who invites the schmuck, sympathetic in any way. He gets what he deserves because he's a jerk.
Exactly. And you can see it like he gets the straight leg as a short, like one step at a time as the schmuck. He messes up like more and more and more, and it's hilarious.
It's one where you got to check out the original if you've seen the remake, because the remake is very American. It tries to make every character sympathetic, which is a quality of Hollywood movies. But in the case of Le Dîner des Cons, what makes it work is that the schmuck is a real schmuck, and the guy who invites him is kind of an ass. And like nobody's all that sympathetic in that movie, and so when bad things happen to them, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Korean movie. It's I guess I would call it what, comedy / romance.
I think it is a romantic comedy.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah. What's the premise for those of us who don't know it? Meaning Nick.
Nick.
Why? Thank you.
Well, the premise is, I guess he's a teenager who, one day at the train station, sees a girl who's really drunk. She's kind of like wibbly wobbly on the train track and ready to fall, and he kind of
rescues her.
He rescues her, if you will, and then she ends up passing out, and he carries on her back and brings her to a hotel, and the movie starts from there.
Yeah, and then he takes turns that are slightly unexpected.
Yes, very unexpected and very comedic. It was a very funny and romantic movie, and definitely recommend it for people to see it for themselves.
I agree. I agree. Are they planning a remake of that?
I don't know if they filmed it. I haven't seen it, but definitely I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, no, it's a great choice.
I
hope more people check that movie out. After the remake, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The remake looked horrible just from the previews.
Yeah, I'm in the same vein. I'm also recommending a French movie, and it's also one where I don't like the remake, and which is why I'm recommending it. But the little difference here is that it's also a remake itself.
Okay.
I am recommending Sous le ciel de Provence. It's a 1956 movie remake of an Italian movie. And it stars Fernandel, and it was remade into A Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves. Yeah. And the Walk in the Clouds is a very lavish, romantic movie about a young chocolate salesman who goes into the Provence and meets a young woman and falls in love with her. And the original movie is not about that at all.
Oh, okay.
He's a middle-aged chocolate salesman who's already married, very happily married. 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, welcome to the Idiomanic Top 3.
With Nicholas, I am the gaming correspondent for Idiomatic.
Dennis P., horror movie enthusiast.
And I am Dimitri, editor-in-chief of Idiomatic and movie critic. So, today we're going to talk about foreign movie remakes, the American remakes of foreign movies, which is a common thing.
Very common, yes.
And we thought we'd talk about that a little bit with a little top 3 of the movies we'd like to see remade. To give you a little glimpse into the foreign movies we love to watch over here. Because we're snooty hipsters.
Yes.
But before we do that, let's go into something I like to call show and tell. And that's when we recommend a couple of movies for you. And this time, of course, foreign movies. So why don't you get us started, Dennis?
All right. Well, I would recommend the original, because this, I think, has been remade, called My Sassy Girl. The remake, per se? I think that they remade it, but or it's in the works.
Yeah, not too excited about the remake, but I agree. The original is really, really great film.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not excited about the remake is because so much of it is entrenched in Korean culture and just a Korean lifestyle. And
Definitely, yeah.
that's the part of the movie I like the most, actually.
Same with me, and they even, I think they even address some of, they make fun of some of the Korean movies in there, I think, or some foreign movies, so it's pretty fun, and, you know, I don't know how they would remake that part.
With Jimmy Fallon.
Ouch.
The foreign remake expert. Actor.
My remake, original movie that I recommend is the French movie Le Dîner de Con, which has been remade in the United States, Dinner for Schmucks.
Yes, that's right.
It's a completely different premise in France. They basically, the main character has dinners where they have to bring a schmuck, and they have those dinners and they make